there's a real battle going on, ladies and gentlemen. The death battle between freedom and tyranny. Right at the moment, we've got COVID-19 at the centre of things. We've got the Patriots trying to uh, unravel the mass cover-up by the mainstream media and by the globalists of the origins of it, plus the real death toll and the fake certificates of deaths that are caused by old age or pneumonia or heart attacks or whatever, and they're counting them as COVID deaths. So there's a real battle going on at the moment. You've got the battle of the globalists trying to use COVID-19 to get Agenda 2030 style living conditions, get people used to Agenda 2030 style living conditions, and people not going back to work, and people and robots taking their jobs, and so forth. And an example of this is a meat shortage. Is the meat shortage that coronavirus is suddenly all over the world. Outbreaks of it have been discovered in meat packing plants. Well, I don't know if you remember, but about a year ago, the UN came up with the idea of a meat tax to supposedly curb the fake climate change narrative. We have to stop people eating meat, and they discussed the idea of a meat tax and taxing meat like tobacco and alcohol. Well, I know that they tax alcohol in Australia. They tax alcohol in Australia the same way that they tax tobacco, and it goes up 3 times a year. An excise tax. We've got very expensive alcohol in Australia. Some of you Americans and people in North America would be extremely alarmed by the price of alcohol. It would blow you away. Like, for example, a bottle of Jim Beam in Australia, $45 to $50, and it keeps going up. So, alcohol is extremely expensive. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. So anyway, they discussed the idea of a meat tax. And they've obviously determined that, I remember the backlash at the time, that this would be extremely unpopular. And at the same time, the UN endorsed and gave shitloads of money to Al Gore's Beyond Meat project, but the burgers are about $11 a burger, so, and plus, why eat that crap when you can eat real meat? And of course, Amazing Polly did a great expose on Beyond Meat and the dangers of the lab-grown meat and the amount of ingredients. And Really Graceful just did a great video on the battle of the narratives and the cover-up of the real origins of coronavirus. And you really need to go and check that video out immediately. But at the moment, as I was stating, I've gone off track a bit here, but there's a death battle between the narratives and the goals of the globalists and the patriots. I'm just wondering whether the globalists, whether the patriots also knew this coronavirus was going to happen, and they let it happen to expose the real origins of the New World Order and blow them completely out of the water. The thing is, will we be able to win and expose these people before they get their UN Agenda 2030 programs in place? So it's a real battle at the moment. But I just think it's rather ironic and rather coincidental that all these coronavirus updates, these supposed coronavirus outbreaks have happened in meatpacking plants both in the UK, America and Australia, right at the same time that the UN and Al Gore are trying to push the fake meat, and Al Gore and the UN have invested billions of dollars in it. Rather coincidental, don't you think? Plus, the other thing that the globalists have released coronavirus for, in my opinion, this bioweapon is to force worldwide mandatory vaccination laws and get everyone microchipped and tracked, because you've heard Bill Clinton talk about contact traces and everything else, and it was covered in Amazing Polly's video. So, great videos by these two women. I'm just putting my bit on it. But in my opinion, it's the final death battle at the moment. Either we win or they win, and they put their entire agenda in, and it's all or nothing at the moment. It's going for a broke. But this is the final death battle, and we must win. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.